Let's check if the stream works and I don't have too much some sound. Getting the music started. Let's see if we can get that. And that looks good. We are online. Twitch is also good. Twitch, just to check. Looking good. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Good. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Good. 1, 2, 3. Check, that's also good. So, all right then. Oh, the music. Yeah, the music is very loud. So let me reduce that a little bit for me. So, just have to make sure that you don't hear it too loud. So now you don't hear anything, I guess. So 1, 2, 3 again. So 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3 again. Good. All right. So, sorry for the setting up and everything, but that was important as always, and I changed again a lot of the stream stuff. So, as always, there is new stuff that I have to explore. So, for example, what I can introduce you today is I managed it to have a new bot inside of Twitch. So if you enter now songs, you are able now to skip to the next song, to promote the next song, to pause the next song, and so on. Currently we are on the Robert Harris playlist. So if you don't like this song, I think you can say something like songs next. And with that, no song next. Okay. Good question how it will work. So let's see. I didn't have so much time to check that out yet. But if you have any ideas how we can improve that, I think we are in the playlist here. And this would skip to the next song, I thought. So how can we check that? I think if we are looking for songs skip, maybe this is the... Yeah, that works. All right. So where have we been the last time? And where did I stop the last stream? As you maybe remember, we had this fantastic Flutter tic-tac-toe player. So we are able to select if we want to play as O or as X. And depending on what part we play against an AI. The problem with that was that the last time when we did that, our bot made some very curious moves, like which we not expected at all, and maybe also did not allow it at all. And what you can see is, for example, we entered now here everything, and it seems that he makes a move on one of the elements that we did already set up. And this is a little bit awkward. And what we have to do now, or today, what I want to do is I want to write some unit tests, check why it's getting overwritten on some places, and also check, for example, I think the last time we stopped at the game service, here we had the bug that if we have 3 elements in a row, then the game is not finished. We did not win the game. And the question is now, why? And I think if I remember right from the last time, let's see. No, we didn't had any tests yet. So what I want to do is beginning with writing some tests for this winner guy. And just to see which part of the application is broken. So I hope everyone, my sound is okay. Yeah, everyone can hear me. And that's fantastic. So where have we been? So we have created this tester here. And as you can see, we already entered some testing values. And the first test shows that we have 3 axes from the top to the bottom. And these 3 things don't work. So as you see, it should be true, but it is false. And now we have to check out why this is the case. And if we take a look into it, we can see that I already created 2 breakpoints, and they are for the following. With that, we can now debug this test here. And we are able to directly jump at the place where we have the column X, for example. So, and the question is now why our column is not calculated correctly. Oh, all right, just some messages. Fantastic. So with that, we go into this board 0, 0, I guess. And if we take a look into, we have now J with 0 and I with 0. That means we go into the first element of the board and then in the first element, which is O. And then we increase J. So that means we go through these 3 and check if the player X is part of it. And then we calculate or count up the number here on this X. So the first one is of course not X as far as we have seen that right now. I think it was O, right? So let's increase that a little. And yes, so we can see it's 0, 0 is O. So the column count for O should go 1 up. So it's now 1. That works fantastically. So now we jump back into the J part and we begin with the second one, which is X. But I think I already saw the mistake that I've done, because what happens now is the following. We count now correctly, right? But the J is ready, so we close that off, we go in the next line, and what happens is it starts again from 0. So that seems we calculate wrongly in that case. Because what we want actually to check is not I and J. We want to check more if when we stick with one I element, with one J element, we want to check how the I element is changing. So actually we want to turn around more or less this for loops here. As you maybe remember, we already implemented all these things. And what I want to check is inside of this winner method here, we already created everything. So we checked out for J in a range of 1 to 3, and we have I to J. So in this case, we turned everything around. You see, the I element is in the inner loop and the J element is in the outer loop. And if we check that here, oh, where's our breakpoints? Here, we can see that we did that here directly on the opposite side. So that would mean we need it more like this. And also here, like this. And if we restart this now, we should now be able to see that our columns are here 0, 0, and we go over the for loop on this place. So you should be now up. Let's see how it turns out. If we have the breakpoint after that, so we can just run over it. And I want to see how high is the column counts now. And the column count X is 0, which cannot be true. And this is 1, so something is still wrong. We set this always to 0. Maybe this is also a mistake. Let's have a look. So we calculate J in range of 3. What do? We go exactly to the 3, which is okay, I would guess. Okay, let's see. Maybe restart once more. So we have 0, 0, we go into J, first one is 0, we check. So inside of the board, 0, 0 is O. That's correct. Now we check in J sticks the same. No, J increases. So the row increases, but I stays the same. So that means that we have now in I1, exactly, in I0 null, we have now both not, right? So this is wrong, this is wrong. Fantastic. So we increase again J by 1. And now we should be able to see O again. And yeah, of course. And now if we check the column counts, they shouldn't be 3 at all. I have the feeling that I was just too fast by exiting the for loop. So I guess I can remove that and let run once more. Now we can see that column count x is 3. So at the second iteration, it will come to that point that we have 3 elements there inside. All right, so let's go further. If we let that run now and I remove that debugger, we should see that all tests have been passed. And this is exactly what we want. So this test is running now green. And with that, our game should be already behave completely different, even though that the AI still have the possibility to make moves which are actually not really allowed. So during the startup time, it's already up. Just a second, I just want to publish on Twitter that we are online, so maybe someone wants to join. To play against the AI. So, up. All right, cool. So now let's select something and another thing and the last thing. So congratulations, we won the game. But as you see, we still have not an optimal AI. Actually, the AI plays a little bit dumb, if this makes sense. But on the other hand, it's changed its correction. And I think what happens is we still select for the AI the wrong value. Actually, the AI here wanted most likely selected this field. And when the AI selected this here, they wanted to select this field. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you, Oscar Martin Dev. Another developer here. Nice to see you. What are you coding in? Okay, so as you can see, we get some issues here and we need to improve that somehow. So it seems that our AI still don't know what it does. And additionally, some of the moves that it does is also not really useful, as you can see here. So what I would suggest is that we write some tests for that when they can make the move. So let's see where this happens. If I remember right, this should be happening inside of the game board service. And here what the UI is doing, we have the possibility of an user turn where we select something. And here we give inside IX and IY. This is the elements that we select, right? And the AI turn works a little bit different because it goes through this service Minimax and checks which action it can do regarding to whoever player it is active at the moment. So let's see what the reason is why this tuple here is always wrong. The easiest answer that I could understand is that we turn this 2 in the wrong direction. So that would mean that we have here item 1 and then item 2, so that we don't confuse the AI. Maybe that was the problem. So let's run it again. We play as X. Sorry, my nose is... Yeah, nice to see you too, really. You see, now it looks much better. So we can see that this turn here has done first, now this one, and now let's do this one. And actually the AI should be playing optimal. That means if I select this one, it should win by crossing that one through. Yes, so this is good, but we still get a weird error winning message at the moment. So we have also to improve that in the future. But in general, we shouldn't be able to win anymore. And sadly, this seems to be the case. So do we have a chance for a draw? Yeah, so tie is also working. Fantastic. So that's actually it. I thought already that this would be way more complicated than I had to expect, but I think we did some things right. So you can see we have now the possibility to play our AI and we lose, sadly. Hey Minu, nice to see you. Oh, that brings me to a good point, Minu. Here I want to do something. Where is it? Report menu? No, that's not. Timeout. just give me 1 minute or 1 second. I will go further with the programming in a sec. I just want to do that quickly. Okay, fighting with the keyboard. Everything is not that easy. So community roles. Boop, boop, boop. Here he is, and this, and save. Fantastic. So. All right, so that's already a very good part. So I hope you hear the music well and also my voice. Always a challenge for me to set everything up because I had already a lot of stuff to do in the chat again, or in the stream again, as you see. So we have today also a new guest inside, which is the stream bot. So you have the possibility to skip to the next song and, I don't know, request new songs if you want to, and so on and so forth. I'm not sure yet how much we will use it, but yeah, you can try a bit around. Okay, but back to our problems. As far as we can see, nearly everything works now finally well with that XO part. And because we play Minimax, the AI should win nearly always. Good. Just 1 or 2 optimizations, I guess. First of all, if I play as player X, I don't want to see the message, hey, oh, congratulations, O has won. So I think that should be the first step that we should work on. So let's see. So we have these 2 buttons, depending on what we want to play, user X or user O. And we start up as soon as I play user O, we turn on the... Oh, cool, there is a song request page. Nice. Really curious how this works out, Minu. So try it around. Cool. So we have now this AI turn and the user O. And if we go here inside, we see that we navigate. That's fine. And we're coming to this place. Here we get all the necessary information like active player, user, board state, and all of that. But what we need is this text here. So here we define the user message who won the game. So we have actually 3 elements that could have this text here, right? So what I will do is I create for this a method to get result message. So, and inside of this game result message, we have 3 possibilities. And for that, let's make a short pseudocode. So the first message that we could receive is the win message that announces us as a winner. So the second one is the tie message, which says that nobody won. And the last one is the lose message, which tells us that the player or the user has not won. All right, so let's see. We should be able to have the access of the string winner, but what we also need is the user. And for that, we have to quickly check on the top what part we already get. So, and as you see, we have here a user. If we check that, string user, I believe that this user is set to X or O. So to player X or player O, depending on what we want. That means, or that said, we pass inside not only the winner, but also the user that currently plays with. We add the required positional parameter. So because this method needs it anyway, so it is a required field and it will throw a null safety error if this is not there. And then we can start. So winner, so user, the question is if user equals to winner, then we return this part here. Up. So if user unequal winner, return. So if the user is not the winner, then he is the loser. So The AI is unbeatable. Sorry, you lost. Try again. Really encouraging. First we say that the AI is unbeatable and then try again. Cool. And last but not least, we have our else part, more or less. So we could make an else part or just say, whenever none of this have been returned, we say tie, nobody wins. Up. So. And with that, we can remove all of these. And because nobody else uses this message, it could be as a private message. So. With that, we have it here and nobody else. Good. So, and now let's try our logic if this works. So I click here and here. Let's try with the tie first. If I am, oh, sorry, I'm unable to win. Okay, cool. So the AI is unbeatable. Sorry, you lost. Okay, fantastic. So we got the right message. Okay, the second part that I would like to try is if I make a tie now, finally, hopefully. Oh, yep. No, the tie didn't work because the tie is also that the user is unequal to the winner. The question is now, what is winner? Winner will be probably null, right? Let's see. So winner, what could it be? What is the initial value of winner? Winner is winner, winner is null. Okay, so is it set somewhere? Yeah, it's set to null. Okay, so our result message only has to check again or additionally, winner is unequal to null. And this tells us tie, nobody wins. Because of the hot reload, we immediately got the right message now. Good, let's try to play as O and try the same things, just in case. Ah, okay, I lost. So if you are very good in... Oh, no. Ha, alright. So I got it to a tie. So, but unfortunately, as you see, we cannot beat the AI in any case. So we will never get the first message, actually. But that's fair. So with that, we have this calculated. That should work fine. And I'm pretty happy with it. And thanks to Marta, I learned something the last couple of days. And what I want to do next is I would like to take another look into the other application as soon as we have time. There's a trick to win? Really? Tell me, how can I win? I can break the AI again. So let's see if Minu has the strategy to win. The question is, can we, what would be also interesting? All right, no worries, take your time. In the meantime, what I can try is I could identify if I can have a third button where I say, let the AI play against each other. That there is no user, that two AIs would play against each other. That would be maybe interesting. So probably there wouldn't be a winner at all, of course, but it would be just interesting to see how they play or they fight each other. So what I will do is I will create a third button, play match against AI or AI match or something like that. And let's see what happens then. So we have this inkwell. This was for, home view. And inside of the home view, we have these elevated buttons. And currently we have just a row here. And what we could do instead of the center, we could remove this and wrap this in a column. Hopefully, yeah, that looks good. So, and say our main axis alignment. Axis alignment could be in center. Yep, that looks good. And what I can do now is creating another row. So here we have children again and putting inside an elevated button, which we call AI Wars. 137 is an easy win. Okay, let's try that. So should I play as X or O? I guess as X, right? Ooh. Ah. So I just finished that game. All right. So let's see. So 1, 3. No. One, 3, 7. 1, 3, 7. And what we also need to do if we pop, we have to. It was hard. Yeah, true, right? It's not too easy. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is as soon as we go back, we have to clean the state, because as you see, if we go back here up there, then yeah, the AI plays with itself slowly. I have the feeling, at least. It's also interesting that it plays alone with itself then. So maybe inside of the elevated button up here, we currently do the AI turn right away, but the user is on the other side, right? So whenever we click this, the AI turn will be triggered, which is not necessarily bad, but just to have that in mind. So if we go to the game board, we have somewhere our pop possibility. Yeah, that's true. So if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our AI's turn, then it's nearly impossible to win. That's true. So 1, 3, 7, yeah, gone. Oh! Okay. One, 3, 5. Okay, 1, 3, and 5 is blocked now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So we get a tie, at least. Okay. So where is that we can go back? So this back button is part of the app bar. Let's see, where's the Grampy app bar? Here. So, and here we have probably some kind of on pop or something, I could imagine. So let's see, we have flexible header, flexible space, leading, primary shape, text theme, title spacing, toolbar height, tool text, nope. Or is it on the scaffold that on loading, persistent footer, bottom navigation bar? Interesting. So how can we avoid that? So, okay, let's try it again. We go back. I have to finish the game first, sorry. So, good. So now let's go. 5, 3, and sorry, still tie. So 5, and you say now 3 and 1. So 1 is already blocked, so I can try to play 7 and 9. Let's see, 7, and still blocked. I'm really bad at tic-tac-toe, you know that. So this is the reason why I'm losing here. What I want to try? Yeah. Oh, good point. I can also... Can you try something, Minu, for me? Can you enter exclamation mark in the chat, to do? And I will just to do and something like add... I don't know. What do we want to do? We want to check on pop... No, restart game on pop of app bar. Kind of this. Did that work? Yeah, so it worked for me at least. Could you try to add a to-do for me, Minu? Can you try if you have access to this command with the exclamation mark to do? And in the meanwhile, I can search a little bit on this Flutter topic. Flutter app bar pop. I want to have a, how do you call it? Callback maybe? Return data from screen. Flutter back button with return data. Go to the second screen. Async scaffold of context show snack bar. That is not what I meant. Nope. Callback for both of the buttons. Oh, the internet is very slow on my side. I think the reason is because I have a very weak internet or Wi-Fi connection at the moment. So let's try to remove the USB cable quickly, or else I have to quickly check the internet connection. Unfortunately that didn't work. I have to see if I can give you there a possibility to add that. That would be amazing. So then you can also keep up tracking with me the different things. So I will try to remove you that and give you that. Can you try once more, please? Just for fun. That looks much better. Perfect. Then you can now keep track of me. If I do stuff that I don't should work on, then you can give me a highlight on that. Fantastic. Thank you, Minu. All right, so we have this play as X, we have play as O, and I wanted to do, restart on pop. So whenever we press this back button here. So the question is, where is that aligned? I really thought it would be here. Center tile actions automatically imply leading, backwards compatibility, excluding, leading, shadow shape, toolbox, toolbar. Nope. I think you can be gone because we did everything we should. And now let's see. Okay, you know what? I have to quickly check the internet connection. It will be just a second. I will be back in 1 minute. So let's check that. Now we should have USB connection. All right. So it looks already way more promising. Good. Now I can search. Look at that internet. How is it? Amazing. A bit lower. Quickly check the microphone. Yep, sound looks good. All right, so we have at that, okay, add a button that launches the selection screen. All right, show the selection with 2 buttons. But this is the children. Pick an option when a button is tapped. No, remove current snack bar. No, this is just snack bar stuff. Null. Maybe what we could do is whenever we navigate, we have that up here, I guess. And whenever we navigate back to it, this is a future method, so we could await for that actually. And if we do that, then we could here say something like context.watch, no, .read. Give here inside the game board provider. And now we could restart the game. So that would mean we wait until it's go, just let it go to reset state. Yeah, that's true, but my question was at which point of time we have to wait for it, or at which point of time we can invoke this restart call. And this is now our navigation. So whenever we navigate to somewhere and we're coming back, then we call here because we await for this push notification. Get right now a lot of emails. I should close my email client, maybe that helps. So, yeah. All right, so back to the point. And now if we go here and I select some stuff and click back, and go inside again and click back, now it's empty. So let's start again, do something. Let's go back and play again. Yeah. All right, enjoy your dinner. Hopefully it's getting something good for you. Good. So with that in place, how could we do an AI turn base so that only AI plays each other? All this guys, we have this player X and O. Game board provider. So, and currently what we are doing is after the turn, we switch the players. And if game over isn't true, user turn. Okay. So, but currently we have the AI turn. And what happens is it does a turn and it switches the players. And where do we decide if we make an AI turn or not? Game provider user, that is for sure. Okay, no, that's not what I meant. So whenever the user does a turn, we say that the AI is on the run. I think that is not a good solution for us. We need some kind of a better solution at the end for here. How could we do that? We could give a flag like AI turn and then check if the AI is on the run or something. So, or what we also could do is saying here, if user equals to null, then afterwards, oh, that was a mistake. Then we would just say AI turn again. So when we don't have a user, we just play as the AI further. I think that could be even the easiest option. So if we check here and we would say the user is nothing, we would say it is null. We would trigger the AI turn and we would navigate. And with that, we should see the AI playing against each other. Boop, 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 boop. Congratulations, null, you won the game. Okay, did someone won? I didn't really check, so let's see. X. No, nobody won the game, or? The question, yeah, sure. Our error message is of course wrong. So, or better, our result message. Because currently we are checking at our result message for the winner isn't null. And if the winner isn't null, the user is equal to the winner. Yeah, because the user is at the moment null. And then we say you won the game, right? So what we also have to check is user is unequal to null. And this, then we return that. Else, let's move that in an else if case. And also this one can be part of an else case. So, and last but not least, what we have now is if the user is null and we just want to show the winner, right? So someone won the game, actually. So let's see. Restart and try again. No, but nobody wants the game. It's a tie, actually. Why should we run into that? So wait a second. We can remove that and we can remove that. So let's play. All right. Now it seems to work, actually. That's better. So we have now the possibility to play as X and lose. Yep. And to play as O and lose. Yep. Or last but not least, let them play each other and it will be a draw. Amazing. So I'm very happy with this solution, actually, and this is pretty amazing already. Let's have a look. We have all this. We have the game boards provider. This works all the time. Now we can just make the buttons a little bit more beautiful and restart the game's also working. So whenever we are played something, we go back, it's gone. That's also fantastic. Good. So my idea for that button actually is quite simple. I would like to see where it is. The game board provider, game board, and the home view. So my idea inside of this row would be that the main axis alignment is actually centered. Because it's just one button, I think it doesn't look bad. So we have there some space, that's fine. And we have the possibilities here. So size box, give that a height of, let's say, wait a second. What we can try is, instead of doing this, we could say that this part here is space evenly. And with that, we have a bit more space between them. Of course, they would be dynamic. That means as far if we have that larger, it's getting a little bit large outside. But I think usually this thing shouldn't be bigger than this. But that is maybe not the optimal possibility. Space around is even bigger. And what is the last thing that we can try? Space between? Oh no. No, I think centered would be the best option still. And just make a sized box. Then it doesn't move too fast or too far away. Make this const, no? Sized box, and have here a height of, let's say, 16. Good. So we have some space between them. They're still looking good. So what would be the next part that we can do? Make the buttons a little bit bigger, maybe. I think that would make it easier to hit them. So let's see. Child, do we have some styling? Let's have a quick look. Style, focus, clip behavior. So it needs to be style. And here we have the button style option. And the button style has a text style, overlay color, shadow color, side minimum shape. Okay. So my recommendation is, or what I would like to look for is if there is some code-free snippets for it. Button style, Flutter, I don't know, snippets. Search code snippet, elevated button style. Nope. And this is just new stuff. Okay, that doesn't help us. So let's see what we can pass into the button style. We could create a background color, elevation. Let's try a pure elevation. What do we have to give inside for an elevation? And material state property double. Ah, so wow, even that is now a material state property. Interesting. Okay, so I really have to take a look into the material state property sooner or later. material state property. So no property, and if we say this is a double, it's not possible because it's an abstract class. Okay, so what do we have? Material state color that implements material state property. No, this is C also. For classes that resolve to a value of type T based on a widget's interactive state, which is defined in a set of material states. State property represent values that depend on a widget's material state. The state is encoded as a set of material state values like material state focus and so on and so forth. That would mean that if we go here, we have the material state. No? Material state property. So how I create that now? So this is the elevated button. I would like to give an elevation. So kinda code, what have you here? We have all that. Button style is style, elevated button with icon. So where is your style coming from? How to style. Style, elevated button style from, and then give these things inside. Elevated button dot style from. The question is now if we use that, we maybe have to override that. And now we can set up this stuff. So elevation, what is the elevation here now? A double. So I can say, I don't know, 10, for example. What is wrong here? Move to, yeah, cool. I think there was a, so, and organize, yeah. Happy days. So with that, one of them should be a bit more elevated. So as you can see, we have now this shadow down here. I think, of course, elevation of 10 is a bit too high, but maybe 2. Yeah, kind of this. And what do we have else that we can set up here? Shape. This would be a button shape, I guess. What is your shape? Let's go. Can't go in the declaration of shape. So let's see. Shape is style, button style, and here we have the side and the shape. The shape of the button underlying material. This shape is combined with side to create a shape decorated from an outline border. Let's go back and see what we can give it to outlined border. Nope. Interesting. So until now, not that easy. So outline border shape. Enabled. Also, we search for the style, of course. Get to the button style, and here we should find shape outlined border. Implementers, beveled rectangle border. So let's try this one. When we go here and now shape giving this beveled outline border. So let's see if this worked somehow. Yeah, so you see now we have these edges, really cutting edges here at these places. That's that. So what do we have else? I think we have stadium border. That sounds interesting. Also possible. Fantastic. So in the meantime, what I can do is moving a little bit of our to-dos around. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1. Oops. To do, remove 6. To do, cleanup. To do, move 3, no, 2 to 1. Good. Two buttons for players on the top of the tic-tac-toe board or below the app bar. Huh, why would we need that, Minu? What have you thought when you created these to-dos? I will ask you. Remove and remove the third to-do. Yeah, now it looks better. Good. So let's stick with the last two things. Now that we have these elevated buttons, here we can now change a lot of things, I guess. So for example, enable feedback, minimum size, on primary, on surface, padding, text style. So we can give another text style up, and inside of here we have, for example, font size, which we could put on 36. So way better, and give it some padding, I guess. That would be also very helpful. Like edge inset all of, let's say, 8. Was it padding or margin? Ah, okay, it just needs to be very large. Okay, let's increase that, reduce the font size a little. Good. And what I want to do instead of this, I would like to take symmetrical, because our vertical value could be 16 and our horizontal value like also 16 for now. And then increase that. So horizontally is like the horizon, so this needs to be larger. 32, yeah, kind of this. Good. Let's make the comma back. All right. So next step would be putting the whole thing on the player on O. So what I will do is this whole ever style from, what does that return? A button style. So I should be able to take all that out. But we cannot make that a const, right? Because it's calculated. Interesting. So how do we create actually a button style? It cannot be too hard, I guess. It just takes the default values and then returns that. Okay. Method that constructs an elevate button given simple values. Huh, okay. This styling is now not a const, which is a bit unfortunate. But how does that create us the style? So inside of here we have all these different values, and then on service resolve, okay. Material state property, all text style. Material state property, okay. So if I would like to create a button style dot. All right. So what can I pass inside? So for example, I would like to change, let's say, the site. No, what was it? We have, for example, the elevation. Then we have here inside material state property. Property dot resolve with all. And now and with resolve with, I can have the state that the button has, and I could return whatever state here is inside. So how would this state look like? Is there an information about that? No, it's just T, so it could be any state. Is that correct? So this resolves with is a callback that gives us a material property resolver with T. No, we have a set of material states, and here we should see now all the different states that we get, like mouse cursor state, outline border state, and so on and so forth. All right. So these states are hovered, focused, pressed, dragged, selected, disabled, or error. Good. Nice. And we have also the possibility to come to the different places because it is from the design of Material.io. Good. Understood. So that would be resolve with. So let's say states equals, or let's change that a little, this to a block body. Let's switch the states. Up. So now this shouldn't complain because we don't have missing. Question is, what does that return now? T. And I guess this would be double in our case, right? Add a const modifier, okay. Resolve with is now, wait, slowly, we have to take that away. It's not this part, it is this part actually. Now we have said that this resolve with returns a double at the end. So that would return 1 in the worst case. So the question is now, this states has multiple values, and the problem is, as you see, if I want to jump in, we don't see that. So in order to change that, we have to go inside of this property with. Where did I found them? Property resolver, and here we have the material state. So you are a material state. Why is it complaining? This is a set of material states. True that. It's a set of material states, so it could contain multiple of them, like pressed and hovered together or something like that. Hovered, focused, pressed. So then I say something like states contains material state dot, I don't know, maybe hovered. So if this is the case, then return, I don't know, by something high at the moment, just to see how it looks like. And if I hover now, yeah, so you can see we really give some shadow inside. I think if I increase that to 50, we see it even more. So it's really flying off. Nice. Okay. Now I understood also how this works. So if I press it, we have currently the inkwell, and I think we could also change that, like states.contains material state dot selected, hovered, pressed. So if we press it, then return, I don't know, 100 or maybe just 20. So we hover, and if I press it, it's getting less, right? No, not sure if this worked. Because maybe both of the, because pressed has less impact. Yeah, so now it works. So don't make fun of animations here. No, but that works. So if I press it now, the shadow is getting less. I think with the button, it will be more clear what we have done here. So instead of elevation, let's try to use a color, background color, for example. And this is a color now here. So resolve the whole thing with color. And we do the same thing, but return, in this case, a colors.red, for example. If we hover it, we colors green. And in general, we have the colors.primaries. First, let's keep that, not primaries. Colors.blue. Up, add some curly braces. Good. So if we hover it, it's getting green. And if we press it, it's get red. All right. Pretty good. So, but do we really need all of that? I think not, right? That was just to get some idea how it looks. I think at the end, the buttons are good enough for that, what we need. Or should we make a poll if you want to make that beautiful? Then I can also work further on that. Up, so we lost. We can play as O. Up, whoops. Play as O. Nope, lost again. Okay. So some things that we could change, because what I don't like at the moment is that our as soon as we scroll a bit to the far left, we lose somehow the elements inside. And that is not nice, I think. I don't know how we can improve that yet. Because at the moment we use at the game board. Yeah, I would say also that we can toggle off the second to do. Good. So currently we use the grid view builder with an item count of 9 with a physics of whatever. But I would like to have an item extend somehow so that I can say how large the items are. So let's see if we can do that here, or if we have to create a sliver for that. Do we have the grid view builder, or I use that at the moment. So what does the basic grid view that tells us? The grid view needs children. That's unfortunate. Extend, here we go. That could help us, but we could still not create with a builder. So extend is still not working. Grid view extend with builder. Hey, a new subscriber. Welcome, William Gardners on YouTube. Nice to see you. Multiple grid view builder in scaffold. Construct a grid. Wow, so much text. Cross axis. On the other hand, I think that does the trick, right? The only thing is currently we use an expanded and the column gets the full width. So whatever we do, it's always the full size of the screen. Could we change that a little? Like giving it a max size or something? So let's see, if we wrap this in a container and says, or no, not in a container, in a wrapper and say constraint box. And inside of this constraint box, we pass in the constraints, box constraints. And inside of this box constraints, we will have a max width, which will be, I don't know, maybe 500. Can be a const, but with that, we should be now on a 500 level. So we can see we cannot make it way bigger. So even if we make it smaller, but yeah, 500 is max. We can make it smaller, of course, no problem. And also there we should have an option where we have a dynamic X somewhere. But this is not main priority yet, I guess. So the next step would be to give it some space. So whenever it's like this, I would like to have it in the middle of the screen rather than somewhere inside. How could we do that? I think if we wrap the whole thing in center, yeah, that works already. And last but not least, this column could also have the main axis alignment off center. No, didn't work like I expected. We are now in center, have the constraint box. So where comes this from? So let's check out the inspector to just see how it turns out. Oh, so it's on the top, but here the column is inside. So actually this column should be, so instead of having this centered, what we could have is here surrounding another column. Okay, which destroys now the feeling of it somehow. It's alignment, main axis alignment, dot center, and give this a main axis size of min. No, destroys the app. That destroys the app. Yeah. Somehow outside of the box. Could we wrap this one and then expand it? No, doesn't help. Okay. Main axis size min here maybe, that this one doesn't take infinity amount of space, and then wrap it in a column. No, still broken. Welcome back, Minu. Regarding your to-do that you created, can you give me a short hint what you exactly meant? I'm not sure how to implement that, to be honest. For what do you need the two buttons here on that screen, on that playing screen? So here, where would you need the buttons for? Hi, Mahtab. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Good point. I could... Oops. I'm the worst. Okay, so we could bring on some pictures, I guess, and some stuff like that, but I have the feeling that looks already pretty good. So what is here? No such getter item one was called on null. So we break somewhere here. AI turn. So if the game over, we didn't check the game over. Wait. We are not allowed to do another AI turn if the game is over. Yeah, putting that here. So let's try again. Two players are playing. That's true. I didn't even thought about that. You're a good point. We can check that in a second. So, and restart. I think I have made some mistakes. Now it's way faster, but somehow I think it plays against each other without killing the user somehow. It always creates a new AI somehow, and now it has a lot of AIs until it's getting faster and faster. So nope. This is not what I want. It's interesting. How did I end with that. So somehow this future delay is getting multiple times called. Huh. It seems that I forget somewhere to set something off. Interesting. Not even sure where this happened. AI turn. User is null and the AI turn starts. And this is always the same? Huh, interesting. No idea. Okay, but this player with the 2-player game, that's true. I've completely forgot that. So we have this, and then play as 3 players. So I think this is for AI only. So we can add here a 3rd button. 2-player game. Sure. Then we can maybe also create like giving this a text in front of it, like player, play yourself. And the alternative is in front of this row, text, let the AI play for you. Huh? So. Yeah, the problem is I think the AI wars don't, no, the play as X or something does not allow me to get a V shape in any kind of game. So here is already done. So if I play as O, I lose anyway. But if I try to start in the center and get somehow a V shape, so he plays here, so I need to play here and here, and I lose. So you will have ever the chance to get a V shape for the AI or against the AI. At least this is what I believe. Oh, yeah. But the good thing is this thing is of course in GitHub, and maybe we'll release this as an app sooner or later. And then you are able to play it yourself and see if you can beat the AI. At least this is my goal. Would be cool to release something like that. Maybe also the maze would be great to release it to an app store. Good. So we have some space, looks better. And to the 2-player game. In the 2-player game, how would that work? We have to start with X, of course. So there is no chance for that. So this would be user. And we would maybe have a second value that we call 2-player game or something. Like this would be a Boolean 2-player game, which is false in general. No, not, no, nope. Yeah, exactly. This is the problem with the AI, if the AI is really good. So we wouldn't have an AI turn, of course, because we are users only. And if this is the case, we only have to set that the 2 players are true. Because we are not doing this as this doesn't need to be private in that case. Cannot read, define, isn't defined in the class 2-player game. Indeed it is. So just to make sure, we would reset that in the reset game, of course. So what we have to do is going to the game board, and in the reset part, switch player, restart game, we would say that 2-player game is equals to false. And what we have to do is deactivate more or less the AI in that case. So what we will say is if game over and or 2-player game, or better said, not a 2-player game. So the AI turn will only start if this is a 2-player game, right? So let's try that again. So 2-player game, X, O, oh, the AI is playing. Why is the AI playing? You shall not play, AI. 2-player game. X is starting. Interesting. So where does that come from? So this, oh, because I changed the wrong part. So you are, of course, here. And you are down here. So let's try it again. Hot restart. 2-player game. Start as... Hey. So 2-player game is true. And it still plays... So something is wrong. So and or so if 2-player game is so would that mean if I play as X, I would now play no. How does he come into AI turn? Game board provider, if user equals to null, then AI turn. No, this is just for the if it plays against itself. But on the home view, we call AI turn in some cases, but not in this one. So how do you come into AI turn if I play 2 players? 43 and 44 are duplicates. Ah, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Shouldn't do that. Okay, but still, we have still the problem that we play against the AI. So let's see where this happens. Game provider. Let's see if we come actually in this AI turn. Turn, move, game over, unequal to true. And if user is null, then AI turn. 2-player game. So where is the stack trace? So this is now important because I want to know. So as you see, we have jumped now somehow in this AI turn, and I want to find out where we come from. So if I open up that bigly, you see on the left side that we have this mainframe stuff. And here we can see that it's an async. So somehow it doesn't contain where we are coming from. So if we jump up, no chance. So that is interesting. So we make our user turn. Ah, maybe we are coming here inside. So restart quickly. 2-player game. I click here. So if game over is unequal to true, which should be true, which should be false, of course. Ah, because of the or, right? Wait, what? This is true, but unequal to... Wait a second, so... And, of course. Ay, 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 ay. Aidos, midos. So that was way easier than I thought. Good, getting this, and now I cannot click anymore because we have broken that somewhere inside of the home view, I guess. Inside of the game board. We made it that we return null on the inkwell if some stuff happens. So is user is active. Line 43 in home view. This is for the play as O. So if we are the O player, then we will activate the AI turn. I think we found a good solution now. That should be the trick. So the problem was that in our game service, in our game board provider, we had the problem that we needed to say and in this place, right? Because game over is unequal to true and we are not playing a two-player game. Okay, but back to here. So now our on tap is a problem because we can only tap if the cell is active and if the user is an active player. So then we are able to click. But is user is active player is not only decided by if the user is an active player. We also have to check if it is a two-player game, right? So how do we find out? We go up here and we should be able to get the two-player variable is two-player game. Two-player game. And if this is the case, down here, if the user is active player, we can say, if this is true, then return that. No, then return true, else return this. And we have to get this as up here, of course, two-player game. Cool. And here we have to pass is two-player game inside. Good, so let's try it again. O, X, O, X, fantastic. And now there should be always a winner. That's also important, right? So whenever I win now as O or as X, there should be always the AI shouldn't be a reason anymore. So we have to also check the get result messages. So if it is a two-player game, it has nothing to do anymore with this. So if two, we have to pass it in first. Let's start with that. Inside of here, we also pass two is two-player game. And required, yep. So if two-player game, no matter what, we will always return that there is a winner. Or of course tie. Wait. And winner unequal to null. So let's see. Congratulations O, fantastic. Congratulations X, and now let's make a draw. So hi, nobody wins. Fantastic. AI wars, let's see how this works. Remove, go. Tie, all right. Good. So far, so good. That works finally again. And with all of that, we finally have managed it to have here a tic-tac-toe player and a tic-tac-toe game at the end. Nice. So also the two-player game is done. So let's toggle the to-do. Toggle 1. Oh, no. To-do, toggle 1. Good, 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 good. Isn't AI wall looping? What do you mean? Of course. Oops. Bop, 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 bop. The only problem that I have here at the moment is that we get more and more AI players, I guess. And I'm not sure how we can kick them. So let's see where they come from. So we have, maybe this is next to do. to do add fix AI recursive call or something, because that is what I guess it is. So to do move 3 to 1 and to do clean up. Nice. All right, so, and let's make, what is it? Sound skip, I guess. No. Just a second, want to understand how it works. So I have to go to the requested songs, commands, default, songs it is. All right, that was sad. Playlist, no, auto. Songs skip. Apocalypse. Probably not, I guess. Apocalypse. How? Well, wait, I have to quickly check what that is. The question is if this is a free playing music, like without any, what do you call it, copyright problems. So that is the benefit of this Happy Harris or Harris Heller Stream Beats thing. So we can play the music all time long. And hopefully you are not angry with me, Minnow, but I will take away your moderation rights and put you again as a VIP, because that helps a little. No. No. All right, so the next step. So now the question is, this AI turn is called a little bit too often in my opinion. And the reason is, when we click here, we are jumping inside once. That's fine. I think the first time it's good, right? We are calling. Calling, and so on and so forth. Let's do the first game, maybe without any. Nobody wins. So, and I make that a little bit smaller so that we can see it easier. And now at the second time, if I click it, it's getting already faster. The third time, it's starting to run even. And now let's have a look where the breakpoint comes in. So now you see after a while, all of these future delays getting ready. And we are still playing behind the scenes against the AI. And what I guess is that even after a while, yeah, so this stays always on. So because we have no finishing line, right? So as soon as the game over is being called empty, we have to find a way to say something like, kick this. It's like finish off. So, and one option would be that we say, if the game over is returned true, we need to say something like, I don't know if game over is getting back on, game over is true still. So what we just need to do actually is, close that. We just have to say, if game over is true, we just return. I think that should do the trick already. I think we don't even have to make a turn anymore. Kind of like this. And I will close that off quickly, start it up. Nice. So the last time on the last stream, I learned that I have to relax my neck a little bit more, because the last time I was the whole time like this and prepared, and I wanted to talk with all of you. And then after a while, the next day, I had so much more sour neck that I couldn't do anything. So let's see. We have the AI wars. Looking good. Number one. Let's do it twice. Looking still small, slowly. It's having a third one. Probably if I make that very fast, Yeah. So that is the reason, because this future delay saves each other until the next time. So it will make the move whenever it's ready. And I think we cannot skip that, right? Could we keep that as something? So if I make this a variable, can I somewhere access that and say that all futures should be turned off? As catch error, timeout. Not really. If we just remove the things here, I think it's too fast to even follow. So that makes no fun. Interesting. So if I wait some seconds, I guess we wouldn't have that problem anymore. Just to see that, I will use the debugger here once more. Let it play once or twice, and then we should have there a problem. When you break the state, if you click back button, what should then happen? I click the AI wars, I go back, and if I go to play X, it's playing further. So it plays at least 1 or 2 further. So 1, 2, 3, 4, going back and going inside here. You see it makes still 2 turns. It's a good point, actually. The problem is... do we get something back from you? It's a factory of a future, so we can get back a future, like future test equals to that. When completed to string, then. So because we await here, what we need to do is putting that below that, I guess. But still, if the play... that's not good. So if the play is still going and I'm pressing again, then we have multiple again. And if I press again, and if I go to X, then it's still playing. So it should clean the state, actually, but because of this future delay, we have a problem all the time. How to cancel a future? Flutter. As far as I know, there isn't a way to cancel a future, but there is a way to cancel a stream subscription. Maybe that can help you. Yeah, so we have to create a stream and then we cancel the stream at the end. So can we have a stream.delay without anything? Now, of course, we can have it from the future. Period computation. What does periodic do? I think... Periodic would be something, we give a period inside. This could be a duration, right? So we could say something like, this is our duration. But periodic would mean that it does it regularly, right? Like all 500 milliseconds. The problem with that would be that it would play always as an AI because it would do it anyway. It doesn't have a clear understanding of when it should stop. But what we can do is say stream.from future and passing inside the future that is here. Like so. And this stream here is our stream subscription, right? So final stream subscription. And now, whenever this thing does something, first length is broadcast. I thought there is something. Map first where any to list transform. For, can we not make an async for, I guess? On submit listen. Here, listen. So now we get our event after 500 millisec. And I think we can put all these things inside of this. So, and this part here is a bit more mandatory because here we say stream subscription dot cancel. And now this should be resolved, I guess. Maybe not the cleanest solution, but it could work like that. Let's see if this works, turns out with that listen part. I think that is fine. If the game over, then cancel the subscription. On the other side, it could create multiple of them. Let's see. Yeah, that did not work. Huh, even though that we canceled this... Ah, wait a second. The problem is that this subscription here... Make that a little bit larger, yep. But the problem is that this subscription here is currently just accessible inside of this AI turn. But we want to do that whenever we close off our application. Then we want to cancel, not somewhere in the AI turn. We don't want to wait one more turn to cancel all the subscriptions. So what we want to do is creating a stream subscription. So we have a stream subscription, like so. And we override this stream subscription always with that one, like so. And now, instead of doing this here, we will go and say inside of our go back button, like our restart. I think we call that nearly all the time if we go somewhere back, right? Yep. And I think the other thing is if we cancel the whole thing. Now here inside, we want to access the stream subscription and cancel it. And what I also want to do is renaming that to a private method because it's only here accessible. Okay, let's cancel that off and start again. And I think this will solve the problem here a little bit. Fingers crossed. I have the back hope that this will work now. Yeah. So what are you doing at the moment, Minu? What is your big challenges that you are working on? Anything special that you are working currently on? Yep. Ah, look at that. It worked. Tap, 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 tap. I'm going back. Play as X. Nothing happens. All right, I'm not really the stream user in general because I'm really bad with streams at the moment. I worked a little bit with Block. I think I have to do that a little bit more, but I have to admit I like this solution at the moment. So I'm pretty proud of it that I just started here. Won't that throw any error if there is no stream subscription? Why should there be no stream subscription? That is the question. Ah, still the Flutter installer. Fantastic. So you had still your GitHub repository for that, right? Got that. All right. Cool. So with that, we have managed it even further. So go back, start again. Yeah, that's cool. All right, underneath these options, what we can do is now push the whole thing to a GitHub repository. I think that would be mandatory. Git share project. Let's share this one with the public. So this is always the hard part because somehow the my user is still not activated always. So this is a bit weird. So Flutter tic-tac-toe, it's private, no origin, that's fine. Well, share. Hey, it worked. Out of the box. That's new. All right, let's push the whole thing and let's see where we're coming to. Zack. And here it is. Fantastic. Initial commit. All the stuff is inside. And with that, we have a fantastic working tic-tac-toe game, finally. So. You missed the answer with that throw an error. No, the question is, what should throw an error? You mean the reset button? The thing is, we always reset the thing, right? So, and your concern is that if there is no stream subscription. Ah, that could be. Let's check. You're right. If I play with myself, up, restart. No. So it seems not like that. Or let's restart quickly everything. So maybe release all the state. And if the state is completely released, let's try that again. Restart. Ah, now it crashes. Yeah. So if there is a cancel, it needs to throw. Of course, because it's null, right? So if stream is cancelled, so makes a null check. Finish. So that should do the trick, I guess. So if we have this. No mistake. On the other hand, doesn't care, right? Because if we make a restart game, then this should do the trick. All right. And restart. And now we don't have any error anymore. Ah. Good. No. All right. So with that, we saved it. So the question mark saved the day. Thank you for that, Minu. So we can push that with the stream subscription. Fix for null. This is a bug fix. Cool. And push. All right, so the next step has been done. We are able to have this part. So no description, website, or anything is provided. We could also do that, like short description. This is a tic-tac-toe player. Player for free. To play against an AI. This is part of the edX course for Introduction into AI. The website is edx.org. Let's check. Yeah, working with JS is sometimes really confusing. That is absolutely true. AI, development, I don't know, search, knowledge, learning. Include to the homepage, releases, packages, don't do too much, and save for now. Good. And the README can be updated in the future. Yeah, we can do that actually, that's true, but for that we have to first create a release, right? So if we add these releases. Now, how can we do that? The tags, can we do that even? Create a new release. Tag version master, so that would be version 101. Release, title is tic-tac-toe is now playable and released. Describe this release, so that is release 100 and tic-tac-toe player. You are now able to start this application on Mac, and the question is now we don't have, maybe in the web, yeah, that would be an option, that's true. I think I don't have space on my GitHub pages at the moment, so if we release it to the web, yeah, we maybe have to think about how we can release it. So at the moment I would just put in the binaries for the macOS solution, and then we can still build it for the other parts. 1 minute latency, really? I check right now, so I hold my hand up and let's see. 1, 2, 3. So for me it's a latency for 3 seconds. What could be is that maybe the latency gets generated from the distance, you know, because I'm in Germany right now, so maybe this is the problem. I think you had the problem always, right? And if you check out, I don't know if you have activated it, but if you check in the stream, you have that cog down there with the advanced settings, and in there you find low latency. Maybe this helps also. Sorry that this is an issue always. So Flutter Doctor, I just want to get the information if I'm on a good branch at the moment or a good height of the level. It's always on. Yeah, then I think we cannot do so much against it at the moment, just the distance. So, because we have now a really fantastic Ethernet cable right into the house, I can now download whatever I want and the stream shouldn't buffering at all. At least this is my hope. And if I check the bitrate, it looks amazing, like flatlined. You shouldn't have any disconnects at least. Hope that. So, 3 viewers. Hey, nice to see you. Everyone that I don't know. Yep. And now let's see, we download all the stuff. Sorry for that. Will be quick, I hope. And in the meantime, we can just check how to build Flutter, build macOS release. And with that, we should get a runnable thing. So let's see, desktop supports web, install, additional Mac requirements, sudo snap, create a new project, create run, build a release, Flutter build, macOS, easy enough. So, and this should also increase the performance like crazy, right? If we have a release app from that. Maybe we can release it to the macOS store. That would be very funny. We try to sell it on the Mac. Yeah, why not? I can try that at least. Why not? I mean, the Widget Studio is also an app, right? From Rody Davis. Did he updated that once more? I think not, right? 6 months ago, no. It's completely died, that project. Really sad. I was buying it with full hope that this would be more than just a tester, but yeah. Sadly, it was not worth the money, I think. But I think Rody Davis is at the moment anyway a bit under pressure with all the knowledge that he gets from the material team, I think, from Google. So can understand that, I guess. So downloading, go, go, go. No time to waste. Flutter Doctor once more just to see what happens. All right, Minu. I will be here, I think. So in the meantime, what do we want to do? Then I think we can toggle one. And what we can do is to add a new one. And what we want to do is now build a release. Create a release build for macOS and publish on GitHub. Add create a web release, and add create. Should we also create the Android? And yeah, the Android release we can also do, but then we have an APK running around. I think that makes no sense. But what we could do for the next time is maybe adding a CI/CD for the project. That would be also amazing. Maybe with Code Magic again, just starting it up and having it running. I think that would be pretty cool. So let's build our application quickly on macOS. Oops. So here we go. Building without sound null safety. That's true. Building the macOS application. So, and usually we should see now down here in the folder builds, we can see the different builds that are getting done. And one of them is the macOS build. And inside of here, we should get now an executable, actually. I'm really curious how it will look. So contains a lot of Flutter default settings. So, what can we add? Bug fixes, playing against the AI. User is now 2-player mode is now enabled. And what can we do else? AI wars active. Added AI wars to AI players. Good. Additional testing. On the other hand, I think the users will not interest some testing. So let's see. Building the macOS application. So where it is, I'm curious. So macOS build products debug. Is it that? Modules Flutter macOS. No, I think that is not the thing. So we have the app contents macOS. Is it you? Let's see. So reveal in Finder, macOS, tic-tac-toe. Okay, this is the debug. Can we terminate? Can we build also in non-debug is the question, right? Release, tic-tac-toe app, contents, macOS. Let's try it here again. So we have here a release build. Ah, cool. So we have actually something that we can start. My question is now, if I take that and put it in the applications, like so, I can start it here, right? Flutter tic-tac-toe. Ah yeah, way better. Or do we see the terminal still? No, right? Should be behind the scenes. Ooh. The question is now, can we have for this also an icon, or do I have to configure that here? I think that would be stupid, right? So for other people, we should have here an icon like tic-tac-toe icon or something. Preview, huh? It's a good question. Also what I see, if I'm opening it up here, we can see the Flutter icon on the right side. Would be cool to have here something more feasible or usable. So no matter of all of that, what we can do is now select something, can let the AI play. And what I want to do actually is creating like a screenshot shortly. So where we can see how the AI plays each other. And getting this image and putting it also inside of here. So if you have the preview, you can see how the player is turning. Cool. On the other hand, this is nothing to do with the release, so I remove it again. And we want to attach the binaries, so let's put that here. Fantastic. And maybe, on the other hand, I don't know if I really want to work further on this, so I am happy with that so far. With that, we can say publish the release. And with that, we have now our possibility to download this element. And I think if we save this, that looks weird. Okay. Why is that so different from that what I'm used to see? Did I make a mistake? Sorry for that. Contents, resources, dwarf. No, it's not a damage file. That's the interesting part, actually. I thought it would be. But it seems that this is a document file, or even worse, something just not really a file. Huh. Flutter create damage file. For your macOS app, shipping a desktop application to customer, Flutter build release was missing. Okay, maybe I have to change the release here from that one. Hopefully I can still edit it. Yeah, fair enough. So remove that. This was a mistake. And let's go back here and add this. What was it? Flutter build macOS release. Flutter build macOS release. Release. And with that, we get build macOS build product release, and there we get an app building and a damage file. But what if you would like to distribute it? There is a great project called Create Damage out there, which can be installed using Homebrew. Refer to the project. Okay. Interesting. So that means we need a terminal. Homebrew I have installed, so brew. Yep, brew upgrade, just in case we are on it. And in the meantime, so this worked actually, building without, so building macOS application. So I think we have our release build actually. So I guess this is what the release build will look like. So this here. And this, I think, is that the case, because if we go here and just say reveal in Finder, this file only will have all the executables inside that we have to execute to start up our application. The problem is I actually don't really want to have just a Unix file there. I don't know if there is a better option. Installer PNG, window position, icon size, icon neo app. So the question is now, if I'm looking here, I can see that inside of the release build macOS build products. Yep, no, this one. I am not in products. Products, release. Maybe, but on the other hand, it's an adventure right now. I really want to know how it is if we want to release something on macOS, right? It's something different. Maybe we change the title of the stream at the moment, so it's not learning Minimax anymore. It's like release macOS with damage file. Flutter macOS damage file. Create damage DMG file. for Flutter app. So let's see. And in the meantime, we have created that still. Wrong keyboard. So, and here's in build, macOS build products release. So I guess for us, this is release. And inside here, we don't really find something, right? It's release. Ah, here it is. Ah, this is our application. All right, we cannot see it here. That's the reason. Nice. And I think this image here comes from whatever we have bundled here inside. So if we would change all the images inside of the runner in this asset app icon, so if we change this, then it will also update the icons inside the other thing. But that's fair enough. We can live with that. So, but the problem is now the user will not understand that he has to copy this file somewhere. So, and with that, we want to create a damage file. And the damage file is like an installer for macOS. I think everyone knows that. So you have these arrows, you put it into applications and you can start it after that. And with that, we want to try to create damage is the brew that I want to install. So let's do that. Make that a little bit larger so you can see. Like clear, brew, install, and now create -damage. So, and inside of this release, what I want to do is, first thing is I will upload this one. We don't support that file type. Try zipping it. Oh, interesting. So he don't even allow us to upload this application file type. What is it actually? It is an application Intel, all right. Interesting. All right, but in the meantime, I installed the formula of the create damage. And now let's see how we can create one. So test FRM damage. So to make it your installer more fancy, you can customize the volume name, volume icon, and installer background. Okay, I think I don't want to do too much with that. But I think what we have to do is going where the file is living. So here, inside of the parts here. How do we come easiest to that part? We can go here, right click, saying we want to open it in terminal. And then we enter pwd on a Mac. And we can copy the whole thing and say something like cd, going there. And here we have now this flutter tic-tac-toe.app part. And I believe that we have now to use this damage part. So create damage with the full name, like let's put that underneath. Scroll a bit. So clear, create damage, and full name would be our name for the installer, I guess. So this would be tic-tac-toe player. We don't have an icon at the moment, so we skip that. I don't care about the position and the size, I guess. Or should we? I don't know. Window pos, like 200, 120, and let's say window size can be, yeah, let's keep with that, 500. Text size 14 sounds reasonable. We don't have an icon. Hide extension, app drop link. Neo installer damage is the name, okay. So I'm not sure, does he put the whole release folder inside of it? Create Neo damage and Neo, so it removes something. I don't know what this means. Create damage, clone, create damage. Is the whole folder necessary or mandatory? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. So let's copy that thing once more, remove everything, just to make sure. So, and go one level up. And now in last instance, we give the name like tick or tick. The problem is tag_toe.dmg. That's the file name. And what we want to have inside is the whole release bundle. Run create help for help. Oh, I forgot something in the text size. Yep. Let's try it again. And now we create a disk image. Okay. Wants to access the let's do that. Okay. But let me try something. So in my opinion, I would say that the Flutter Tic-Tac-Toe app should be more than enough. So in my head, this would be completely okay. Let's like this. And what I also saw, we don't have the application icon. So I think we have to also add this app drop link here. So I don't know if this is necessary, but like so. App drop link. Let's add that for 520 and just keep the same things. But if we do this now, we are mounting everything, getting our tic-tac-toe player. Look at that, we have our applications. We can drop that thing. That's so cool. Sorry, but I'm completely happy with that solution. So we get some stuff. So if I'm going here, I move it to applications. We can play Flutter Tic-Tac-Toe and let's go. That's pretty cool, I guess. We did something. So, and now with that, we can go into the edit release and move this into here. If not, try copying the damage file to somewhere and try run it. Yeah. What I will do actually is I want to first update this because I'm pretty sure it works. And now you are asked, can you try to install Tic-Tac-Toe on a Mac? I don't know if you have a Mac, but if you have the time right now, it would be fantastic to just try it. And in the meantime, I just search how Tic-Tac-Toe is written because I would write it with a K. And it seems to be correct, so Google understands me, but on English it seems to with Z, so like tic-tac-toe. And the problem is that I write it everywhere differently, I guess. So in my head I have tick. Somewhere I wrote it wrong, I guess. In the home maybe? No, there's all... No, I did it always right. Who have guessed that? Did you know that Google has this tic-tac-toe player? Can you win against that? Yep. Yeah. All right. So I didn't know that Google has provided these games, and it seems that there are more. Like Snake. Really? Is it a real Snake? Okay, that's just amazing. Who would have guessed that? Oh. So, enough played. So we have now a damage file. That's something. So how about... So I maybe can first toggle one of the parts. So let's go back here to do toggle 1. I think we solved that. To do toggle the second part. I think we released one. That's fantastic. Create a web release would be the marked one. So to do color green 3. That didn't work. Anyway, I don't know anymore the command, so that's fine for now. All right, so let's try to create a web release. So to create a web release shouldn't be too difficult, I guess. The only problem that I see at the moment is how we can publish it. So Windows users, I think that's a good point. I don't know if I can, no, I'm not able to create one, I guess. So what I would need to do is I could do that on my Windows machine, but I'm not sure if I can show you then. Let's see if I can do that without that the computer is crashing. Let's see. So it starts already crashing. So this is another scene. Let's wait a second. I didn't want to announce you to all my streaming stuff, I guess. But what I can do is Windows PC quickly. I'm sorry, it's dark, I know. So getting all the stuff that we need, like all that. Copy over to here. Oh, that looks weird. Sorry, let's do some stream setup. I didn't know that you wanted to see all of that. So let's put that on top of here. And you know, I take my time. I don't have a rush. If I make something wrong, please let me know. Make myself a bit smaller maybe. So, and now let's add this one, like so, and put it on bottom. So, get rid of it, get rid of that. So, and now let's see if I can open up Android Studio quickly. I think I have that installed. So let's open up this one and go to GitHub. This is a real-time performance here, right? So you can see everything, nothing. How could I do something wrong like that, right? So let's search our tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe. If you write now in the chat, I can't see anything. I could maybe open up the chat here on my MacBook quickly, then I can see at least something. So don't you worry. So, all right, yep, looks good. I think this is a bit too large on screen. So, whenever you wanted to make a live stream in your session somewhere, sometime, don't do what I do. Just do it better. All right, let's go to our release. Or better, what I want to do is clone the code. Go here. I see. That was the problem here on Windows. What about Windows user? Top 5 chats is better. What is top 5 chats, Minu? I don't know. So like IntelliJ, I have to start, I think. And in the meantime, I search for top 5 chats. Best messenger app, Android. Okay. Reason 5 chats is better. Okay. I have to check out what that is. Don't Google it. All right. So does that work now? Where's my IntelliJ? Hello, my friend. No, what is it? Toolbox? Doesn't want to start up the application at the moment. Oh, you know, if you want to do something. So have I installed? Yeah. Okay, so my last hope, Visual Studio Code. It's there. Meantime, I'll make that a bit smaller. Okay, if even this don't do what I want, then let's go into PowerShell. Last resort. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I can check out how I find that in Twitch. Maybe I find there something. So cd. Let's search for a folder where IntelliJ opened up. I think the problem is that the stream takes too much resources to rather run that too. So let's kill that. And what I'm not sure about is if I go now to, I don't know, Android Studio Project, and what I want to do is like git clone, getting this. I think that would be following, no? Git clone this. Ah, fantastic. Good. So now we have the 3D Flutter tic-tac-toe, and here inside now the question is if I can run Flutter. Let's start with that. Looking good. Flutter Doctor. Can clean that. Oh no. Dun, 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 dun. So tap, 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 tap. And as you see, we have a problem with the CS. That's a bit unlucky because that is really large to download. I could try that, getting this. Yep, get that and install it. Do it. So, and in the meantime, because the internet connection should be pretty fast, we can check out desktop and development with C++. All its default settings. So we have to quickly download that. Well, 6 GB should be pretty fast, so hopefully we have enough working space. So this will be that one, I guess, with all the default settings. I'm not sure if we need the Windows SDK parts here. Did we need there anything? Desktop with C++ workload, including all its default components. So that sounds like no. The only thing that I have to change is the start buffering. Yeah, in the worst case, it will buffer a little. So let's see. Put that in the tools. Maybe here. Yep. And let's make that in. Yep. I'm working on it. So let's first do this and put it somewhere here. Darf sich nicht mehr. Okay. What is that? Darf sich nicht mehr. So where do I install it? Tools, new folder, VS. Yeah, Visual Studio. Take this. So, okay. So what do you say? We need more stuff. I think the stuff is already in the standard stuff inside, right? IntelliJ, we have the SDK, we have MSVC, and I think that should be everything. Yeah, so let's try to install it. Don't mind, I take my thing. So now let's see if the stream is buffering hardcore. Could be. As fast as it takes all the speed. Let's see if we are still there. Fingers crossed still. Let's go to the manager and let's see if we have still the bitrate here. Yeah, it looks a bit, well, we have still bitrate, so I'm still happy with it. All right, so it doesn't break the whole thing. And as you see, it's quite fast. The download is pretty good at the moment, so I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, and then we can actually create, in the meantime, we can then create the Flutter bundle, the real one. That's cool. I think that was a good idea. Thank you, Minu. Really enjoy that. And with that, we have then a more release with a Windows file. My PC specs, well, my PC is pretty old at the moment, and how can I spec them? Systems, I guess. System info. It's in German right now, so don't know if you see something that would be important. How can you spec? Show PC specs. Click system information. You can find it in system information. Yep, and then we have the system summary node. Yeah, we are here. So is there anything special? What can we say? Processor is an i5 66K with 3.5 with 4 cores. We have some 16 gigabyte of memory. Yeah, as I said, it's not really powerful at the end. It's just, I think it's now 3 years old or something like that. And the GeForce, what do we have here? GTX 970. Yeah, and this GeForce at the moment helps me really a lot because that GeForce helps me with the streaming. So, download packages, go, go, go. So in the meantime, what I could do is I have an SSD on the C drive, but the D drive is normal HDD. That's why it's sometimes a little bit slow. But that's also my main issue at the moment, because if I run that in current vision is incomplete. Yeah, I'm on it. Channel master. And in the meantime, we can also update that. Whoa. All right. Let's upgrade. So now we have 2 downloads. Let's see how high we can go till the stream is breaking. Yeah, I know. As I said, it's if I download everything, it could take a while till it starts buffering like crazy, I guess. Sorry for that. But we are nearly finished. And then we just create our Windows package, which will be amazing. Put that up there, and then we have done something together. And then we don't have to install it no time anymore. Then we have done it. So in the meantime, I can create maybe to-do at release, create a release bundle for Windows. My light has turned off. You mean after the tic-tac-toe? Actually, my idea is that we go further with the edX course. So that we say we take the next step there, and because the edX course is attribution free, or more or less we can show that here on the stream. Introduction, no, AI. I can show you maybe, and then we would go for the next part. Resume to the latest course, which would be then, if we take a look, I think the next course is about lecture we have had, knowledge in that. And if we take a look into the slides already, you can see it's about knowledge-based agents and some mathematics, I guess. And what I would like to do is just talking about it, get an understanding how it works, get some clues, make some games with that, and so on and so forth. And I'm really curious how this turns out. And as I said, from the attribution part, if we take a look into, as long there are some rights reserved, of course, but as you can see, it is share alike, adapt, and I give enough attribution, I think, everywhere where I can. And I think with that, it should be fine if I share this material here on the stream with you. And so we can maybe watch together the knowledge part. We can maybe do this even this evening, where we just take a look into the lecture, and after that going into the quiz and project and try to solve them again together. First in Python, and then later transform it again into a Dart and Flutter project, just to get an understanding how it works in Python first, and then transfer it into our Flutter knowledge that we have. Good. Meanwhile, the Flutter stuff has been installed. Let's check quickly with the Flutter Doctor. Of course, it will still complain about an unfinished installation, I guess. Oh, I see right now that I didn't share. Yeah. Okay, sorry for that. Let's switch quickly back to this guy. Yeah. All right. So once more. I said we want to go further with the edX part. And one thing that we will do is talking about knowledge. And if we take a look into the slides here, we will see how knowledge-based agents work, how you can create this stuff with logic and everything. And I think we are allowed to use the material here completely, right, with a share alike. So this comes from the Creative Commons part here with share alike international. So we just have to give attribution. It shouldn't be commercial, which it is not on this stream. We share alike with the same license. And if we check here, then inside we will then can watch together the video that is going, I think, 1 hour long. Just quickly starting it. Yeah, like 2 hours long. We watch it together, step for step, talking about it. And then we try to answer the quiz together, going into the project and trying to tackle the project first in Python, which most likely both of these projects are in Python, I guess. So nights. Yeah, so we have some puzzles that we have to solve, and then transfer that knowledge that we created in Python into our Dart and Flutter projects. And so I think the benefit is that we don't only made the course, which is anyway for free, but also we get an understanding how the stuff is working in Python in the first place, because Python is the language that they use. And with the transfer to Flutter and Dart, I get a better understanding and I really learn it. And I hope you too. Yeah, so if you understand how we transfer all these things together. So this is at least my idea for this year's streaming sessions. Oh no, I have to make a restart for this Visual Studio stuff. Don't do it. Close. Sorry, I switched back to the Windows PC. So here you are. Go away. So let's see if the Flutter Doctor is happy with that, because if I have to restart the computer, then we are done for today. Yeah, we have to reboot. Unlucky. Okay, so you waited for nothing, I guess. Is that for you a valid use case? So something that we can do, that we can follow? You have some ideas to make live on? Yeah, sure. Go for it. What is your idea? The only problem is with the lives that I want to use them also to improve myself. So the idea is also to get some knowledge in how I can be better developer. And I think the increasing of the knowledge of AI is really helpful because I have never had that in my university degrees. So that was the idea how I can go further with that. That I learned something more in that area. Okay, but as I said, I can unfortunately not start the whole thing. The apps ideas, yeah, I also have them in the planning, but currently I am full-time project again, so that means I don't have the time to always stream as I like. So currently the idea is more that I be as much as I can on the parts, but if I start with the app ideas, I really want to invest time in that. I don't want to do that only, I think, 1 or twice a week. So I really need my 8 hours working on that and improving the app as far as we can. So I'm not yet there. Another idea that if whenever I have time, because I have so many side projects, would be to go and I would like to bring this nice framework over to Flutter. It's the Nest CSS. It's the one that you see up there, the to-do list at the moment. And as you see, it's so beautiful. And I would really love to have something like that in Flutter. It would be so amazing. But yeah, I don't know how easily this will be feasible. All right, so I hope you are not too much disappointed about these ideas that I created there or that I have there. And yeah, that's it for today. We at least managed it to make tic-tac-toe playable and get a damage file for it. I think that's already something. I will restart now my PC and will release also the Windows installer for it. And after that, I think we are done with that for now. All right. So thank you, Minu, for joining. It was a fantastic session with you. I really enjoyed it. I hope you too. And yeah, if there is anything you want to say as last words, I'm now completely open for you. You want to beat my AI. All right, so I will restart my computer, I think in like, give me 30 minutes and then the installer or the exit datei for Windows should be there, so you can try to beat it. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your evening and see ya, Minu.